welcome to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Marissa and I am so excited to be here. I am so excited to share all of my Disney trips, from pin trading to where we stay, what kind of food we eat, bookish things, just kind of all of the things. I am so excited you're here. So excited to be sharing everything with y'all. So I thought for the first video, we can do a what's in my park bag. I know through many of my Disney trips, that is probably the most sought after video that I go and look for when I'm trying to figure out what to pack for my Disney trips. So I'm going to walk you through what kind of bag I use, what's in my bag, how everything fits. So hopefully that helps you on your decisions on what to bring, what to maybe not bring, what kind of bag to choose, all of the things. So for starters, I have gone through a lot of bag phases in my few years of doing Disney trips. So my husband and I first started taking Disney trips in 2022. And that kind of spiraled into where we are now, where we go about 3 to 4 times a year. Usually there's a cruise or two mixed in there. We do live in South Carolina, so we typically drive. We don't usually fly. We are also annual pass holders, and we are Disney Vacation Club members, which I do plan on doing a video on later on. So if you do have questions about that, I would love to hear them. Please let me know. But anyway, I have gone through just a lot of different bags to take. As you can see in this video here and over here, I do have a lot of Loungefly bags. They are definitely the most popular bag. You will see 9 times out of 10 someone's using a Loungefly bag. They are really cute. They are, like, they do hold a lot. I am just not a backpack person outside of Disney. So for me, gravitating towards a backpack is just not something I want to be doing. So I have started slowly phasing out of them. I do really love all of the ones that I have. I don't really plan on getting rid of too many of them, but I will probably end up saying goodbye to some of them. So I did the Loungefly bags for a while, and now I am kind of in the smaller but functional bags. I do have some Stoney Clover jumbo fannies, and I love those. I do plan on, maybe doing a video on those if that's something y'all are interested in. But recently, I have fallen into the influence of the Baggu style bags. So this is the current bag that I use. This is actually not a Baggu. This is the Disney Store Baggu dupe that they have started selling. I also want to say that if there's anything I can link from what we talk about today, I will link in the description for you guys, so that way you can shop those if you want to. So this is what we are currently using. It is really cute. It does have like the little Mickey embroidery. The straps also say Mickey Mouse, but it's really, really subtle. So this is actually my day-to-day purse right now too, because it holds a lot, it's not very heavy, and it's super convenient. So we're just gonna open it up and we're gonna just start going through everything in here. So first things first is my wallet. I do use the Loungefly wallets. I think they're super convenient. They hold a lot without being super bulky. So I use these in my day-to-day life. They're also really convenient for the parks. I am just not really a card holder person, and I don't like wallets bigger than this one. So this is what I'm going to be using for our next trip, which is in August, and I am so excited for it. We are going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, and I will be taking you guys with so you can see it. It will be our first after hours party at Disney, so I'm beyond excited to go and experience it. So I thought for this trip I would do something a little more fall-ish. So this is Alice in Wonderland. It does have embroidered mushrooms on it, which I just adore, and then it's got the rabbit on the back. Super cute. Next is my pin trading bag. I am a big pin trader. I love pins. I have quite the collection that I have accumulated. It's basically my biggest hyperfixation. So this is the GoPin Pro Mini Show, I believe is what it's called. And it holds a lot of pins. But it's got two little flaps here, and then it's got a front area. I do also usually add one of their like just mini pin holders. It's usually for my keepers. Right now this pin doesn't fit in the rest of my pin slots, so he just is gonna live there until I trade him. Next, I love the Stony Clover mini pouches. I think they're really convenient. I always have one in my purse, and I really love them for Disney. So what I usually like to keep in here is lip gloss, lip balm, some contact dry eye relief because my eyes get really, really dry in the parks, especially in the heat. This is the Mega Babe Thigh Rescue for, my thick thigh girlies. This is the best. I also keep a pair of earplugs. These are the Loop. Actually, I don't know which loops these are. They're the Switch 2s. That's what they are. I do have some social anxiety, and I do have anxiety in crowds. So I don't typically need these for Disney, but I do always like to keep them with me. If I'm just getting a little too overstimulated or stressed out, I can just throw them in and it'll kind of dilute some of the noise that's around me. Let's see what else is in here. Hair tie, obviously. I don't usually like to keep a hair clip in my bag because it just gets too bulky, so I always at least have a hair tie in case it's hot out, but let's be honest, my hair is not usually down at the parks when it's super hot out anyway. And most everything else in here is lip gloss. I love a lip gloss. Ooh, we do have this solid perfume from Lush Cosmetics. This is a new thing that I've started using, so it's really cool. It looks like a lip balm, really, and then you just swipe it on your wrist or your neck or behind your ear. I think this is really cool. It's just like a little easy way to get some perfume super quick. But that is mostly what's in here. There is also like a little perfume in here as well, a little actual like spritz perfume. I do typically will throw in some Advil or maybe a couple Tums, Band-Aids, things like that, but they'll all fit in here. Next, I always keep Altoids with me. Again, with my anxiety, sometimes I just get really, really overstimulated, and not only do these keep your breath smelling good, since I do not like chewing gum, but they also are a great way to kind of recenter when, you got all the things going on and you're just like, help, this is great. Next, pretty self-explanatory. I always keep some wet ones in my bag at all times. I don't always use them, but having them at Disney, A+. Tons of germs. Next, I obviously like to keep hand sanitizer. I am currently using this at Disney Touchland little collab one right now. I sometimes usually have the Bath & Body Works ones too. Doesn't really matter. I just always have hand sanitizer because, again, tons of kids, tons of germs. You need it. Next is going to be a new thing for me, which is my battery pack for my camera. Obviously, this is going to be my first trip vlogging, so I have never had to bring camera equipment before. So this is the battery pack for the DJI Osmo Action 4. So it holds batteries. It holds 3. I have 2. But then that way I can swap out my battery if I need to. And it's pretty small. It's not very big, which is great. Another new thing that I have is a fan. I typically will not bring a fan. I have previously had just like a cheap fan from Amazon. because it was cute, but it wasn't very practical. And so for us going in August this time, so typically we take our trips between November and February, so it's typically cooler. This will be our first time in August, and August in the South is brutal. So I found this on TikTok, and then I ended up buying it on Amazon, but it is the Playhot handheld turbo fan, and I mean, this thing, maybe you can hear it, but like, this is one setting and it is strong. So this will help in the heat. The nice thing is you can bend it too. So if we're sitting somewhere and I don't want to hold it, I can just like prop it up on the table and still get the air. So I love this. And then next, I like to keep a cup sleeve. This is also a newer thing that I've started doing, but it is really great to just have one of these if you're getting a Joffrey's, which is we pretty much almost always have a Joffrey's in our hand. So this is a must. So that way we can keep the condensation off, keep, you know, that water from getting everywhere. This one in particular is a Sorcerer Mickey one. We are a big Phantasmic household here. This specific one is from 100 Acre Threads. I love them. Not sponsor, but I love them dearly. So I will link this for you all if you'd like to get one. But I have a couple of them. I also have some from Happily Ever Threads. And they're just 10 out of 10. I always have one in my purse. And then Magic Band, of course. Typically I'm wearing it, but in this video and when I pack to go to Disney, to fly there, this will be in my purse until we get on Disney property. This is the Disney Vacation Club Magic Band Plus. We pretty much started going to Disney when the Magic Band Plus came out. So that's just always what we have. I've only bought them for trips because before we became Disney Vacation Club members, when you book your trip at Disney, you can get a discount on Magic Bands. We don't get that anymore, so I don't buy Magic Bands anymore. I think they're way too expensive outside of it, but I do love this one, so this is the one I usually use. And then last but not least is my phone. Of course, have to have it, have to get all of the pictures from Instagram, all of the things. And one thing you will notice that is not here is a water bottle. And that is because, I'm not going to put my water bottle in this bag. It would be a little too heavy. But we have a Corkscroll water bottle holder that my husband uses, and he will wear that kind of like a fanny pack, and he'll carry our water. But we have a Owala water bottle. They're great, keeps things cold. We dropped it many a times on a ride, and it has held up super well. And then lastly, I think I've said lastly like 3 times. I also like to keep a snack in my bag. This is in my normal life too. I always have a snack in my bag. These are the Trader Joe's little fruit leather wraps. They just have a little bit of sugar. They're great just for like a quick little snack, and they don't take up a lot of space. Last but not very least, we have to show off the bag charm. I always have a bag charm. They are definitely coming back, which I love. So I always try to change out my bag charms to whatever I'm feeling, whatever vibe. But for this trip, we have Gus Gus, and he came out back in February, I believe, when Disney got a bunch of Disney Tokyo plushies and things like that. And I thought it was fitting because he's a little scared of Lucifer, presumably. And since we are going to Not So Scary, I felt like this would be a perfect bag charm for this occasion. So that concludes my very first YouTube video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any other must-haves in your park bag, please leave a comment. Let me know. and I cannot wait to take y'all along on our first trip in just a couple weeks vlogging. We will be vlogging our travel day, basically everything that we are doing on that trip, so each day will be its own vlog. So if there's anything specific you guys want to see, let me know. Put a comment down, and I cannot wait to keep going on this journey with everyone. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you stay. Would love to have you be here to continue the magic. And with that, we'll see you real soon.